American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Mutual Insurance Company and its affiliates. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
As the countdown to football season heats up, for freshmen who are going through summer workouts, there can be a number of adjustments, not only on the field, but off the field. Indiana defensive lineman Madison Norris.
The adjustments have been pretty good. I'm starting to get used to living on my own since it's only really an hour away, so it's not really that bad of a distance, and I'm really starting to get used to practicing and waking up early just to go to class and go to practice, and the transition has just been great for me.
I'm Tim Fisher. This.
Welcome to Moving Forward, sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us here on this Tuesday morning. Glad to be here with you, bringing you Moving Forward, as always, Monday through Friday at 8:15. You can join us for Moving Forward and check it out on YouTube as well later on at the Voice of Muscatine on YouTube. We'll also be able to see it on Facebook, also at the Voice of Muscatine. Well, one more time, thanks to our sponsor, Muscatine Power and Water. Experience the best value in entertainment and connectivity with Mocklink Internet and TV from MPNW. New subscribers save big on TV or Internet, and even more when you take both. Learn more at mpw.org. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks again for joining us for Moving Forward this morning. We're glad to have you. And joining me here in the studio this morning, I've got two guests this morning from a really big event that just happened not too long ago. Looks like I think it was just last week sometime. Well, joining us in the studio, Angie Timmerman, an executive assistant from Hahn and Maxon, and Natalie Maxwell-McDonald, a project specialist at All Steel. How are you this morning, ladies?
Good.
Well, we're really glad to have you in. We're excited to be talking about the City of Hope, which I previously had not heard of, but it's a really big deal because you guys raised an incredible amount of money through a golf outing, correct?
Yes.
So that happened last week. So that happened last week. What was the date and where did you guys have it?
It was June 21st at Geneva Golf and Country Club in Muscatine.
Oh shoot! Goodness gracious! I wondered why I couldn't hear you for the life of me. I had the wrong microphone on. I'm so sorry. So it was. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Yes. The golf outing was on June 21st at Geneva Golf and Country Club here in Muscatine.
Okay. All right. So it was just right up. Now, forgive me. I know there are 2 or 3 golf courts. There's the municipal. There's the Geneva one, and then isn't there a country club here too? And I'm just not thinking of the right name. Or is it just those 2?
Just those 2.
Just those 2. Okay. All right. So so you had this golf outing. How many participants did you have?
We had about just under 200 golfers.
200 golfers.
Yep.
Wow.
And then we have about on top of that about 75 of our members who volunteer throughout the day to help the golf outing go off. Okay. What time did you start then? Because 200 people on a golf course seems like it might be hard to get them all to... you can't really shotgun start 200 people. You can? Wow.
We play in fivesomes. So we shotgun start at 11 and normally are done by 5:30. So it's a fast-paced event. Yeah.
That's impressive, getting 200 people across a golf course in, what is that, 6 hours? Goodness. Well, that sounds like it was probably a whole lot of fun. So let's talk about what City of Hope is, because I'm sure people ought to know what this whole event was about and why it happened and how much money you guys raised. So I'll just let you take it away.
All right. Well, City of Hope is a global biomedical and treatment and research institution. It's located in a suburb of LA. It was founded in 1913, so it's about 105 years old. Even though it is based in California, they estimate through their treatments that they've served an estimated 17 million people around the world.
Wow.
So even though you may not know it, or you may have benefited from their research. The big thing about City of Hope is that they have these really unique on-site facilities that manufacture FDA-approved therapies. This speeds up the time that it takes to get these discoveries from the lab to the patient. They estimate that it saves 75% of the time and more than 90% of the cost of a traditional drug development.
Really?
Yes.
So that's a big deal, because if the drug development takes less time and it's taking less money in order to create it, then that means it's going to be less for the consumer too.
I believe so. Yep.
Wow.
Another thing is that, they are based in California, but at any given time, they have more than 400 clinical trials going on, not just at their campus, but at facilities around the United States. So they partner with different medical institutions.
I see.
To run different trials and different clinics going on. So they are recognized worldwide as a leader in fights against cancer, HIV/AIDS, and diabetes. So they kind of have a broad scope of ways that they touch people's lives.
That's interesting. So they're not just focused on one thing. Like when I was first reading about it, I thought, oh well, they're fighting cancer. Well, it looks right here. It says they're fighting HIV and AIDS and diabetes. And I know I read later on, I'm sure we're going to touch on it, that they're looking to cure type 1 diabetes at some point in their research as well.
Yes, their goal is to have a cure by 2023 for type 1 diabetes.
Wow.
So
I think I've said it a couple times. That's a big deal.
Yes.
That seems like so, and that's a goal that they foresee being absolutely doable. Wow.
Yes, they wouldn't put it out there if they didn't think it was attainable. Wow. And they also, one of their doctors, Dr. Art Riggs, developed synthetic human insulin that's used by, I think, the majority of the world's diabetics. And he actually came to speak at our golf outing within the last 5 years, I would say.
Cool.
And it was amazing to be in the presence of somebody who's had that sort of an impact on people's lives around the world.
And it's called Humulin?
Humulin,
I'm pronouncing that correctly?
Yep.
Humulin. Wow. Yeah, so it created 29 novel drugs, including Humulin, and several others for different types of cancers, leukemia, lymphoma, colorectal lung glioblastoma. I'm sorry, some of these words are just out there for me. They're not ones that I'm used to seeing. But so they've developed a whole bunch of different drugs to help combat a lot of the big ones that we see in the medical world. So it seems like they're really doing their part in the fight against a lot of these that are the ones that when you hear about it, you're like, oh no, it's another one of those that, shut down people's lives or stuff like that. So that's a really big deal that you guys are helping to fund them, because that's what this is for, right? This is funding for them so they can continue to do their research.
Yes.
Before we start into Hahn and Allsteel and Maxon and all of those, or H&I, Hahn and Max, or goodness gracious, Allsteel, that are partnered with that. So that's actually, let's just jump into that. I'm so sorry. My head is spinning this morning. I think I mentioned that to you when you walked in this morning. I don't know what in the world's going on, but I'm trying to keep my thoughts straight here. Let's jump into the connection to City of Hope. So NBPI is what Allsteel, Hahn, and H&I fall under in the category of how they are involved, because it says, I was reading this, the music, film, and entertainment industry, and then the national professional salon industry, and your group is the national business products industry, and that's the connection with City of Hope, correct?
That's correct. In 1983, the NBPI started raising funds for the City of Hope, and it was 17 years ago that H&I decided to follow suit and jumped on the bandwagon with the NBPI, and since 1983, as a collective group, the national business product industry has raised over $175 million.
Wow.
And we have just started contributing in the last 17 years. And this year we were happy to join them. And then we jumped over our $6 million mark since we started.
That's incredible. That, and it may not, some people see that there's a lot of big numbers when it comes to stuff like this, like for research or for funding for really big research groups like City of Hope. But $6 million is that's a big deal. That's a big number. That's a big number to be thrown out there. And $650,000 this year raised as part of this. Yep. That's incredible.
Yes.
I couldn't believe that. I hadn't heard of the City of Hope event until just the other day. I happened upon one of the Facebook posts, because that's huge. That's huge. $650,000 raised this year in Muscatine. That's incredible.
Yes, and most of that money, a good portion of it comes from our suppliers. So they partner with us, and some of them are local. White Distribution, SJ2, other places that are here local. Besides the national ones, they all jump in and contribute to our golf event. And there's a registration process, and then there's activities on the course that help raise that. And then our own HNI members across the country, they help contribute towards that fund as well. It's a national campaign for us. So.
Okay, so it's Han HNI all across the country, all part of this. Okay, but several of those, they have their start here in Muscatine, right? So that's
Correct.
that's kind of where it's headquartered, where a lot of that so it all kind of comes back through when it ends up here as part of the City of Hope event that you guys had last week. I mean, it's incredible. I'm really glad to be seeing this kind of thing, because something like this where you're raising funds for a group that's trying to do their best to, remove some of these really bad ailments that we have here in that you see pretty often. A lot of these are really somewhat common, of course, except for the ones I can't pronounce. The other ones are pretty common ones that you see that a lot of people struggle with, and it's a big fighting against cancer and diabetes, especially. I know a lot of folks that are suffering from diabetes, both type 1 and type 2. And I just spoke with someone from the diabetes walk that not too long ago, and I'm trying to remember. I always get the two mixed up. I can't remember which type is which. But I know that, like, for a lot of people, having their synthetic, that human insulin that was provided, that's a really big deal to them as well. I have a friend who actually has one of those devices that the pump that is constantly hooked up to her because she doesn't have a pancreas. Mm-hmm. I had no idea it's crazy to me. So the research that's going into helping cure stuff like this is awesome, and seeing NBPI, your guys' groups, get involved in this as well. That's a big deal to see a big company taking a big leap to help provide funding for a group that's trying to get rid of these. So what else do you guys want to share about City of Hope? Did you guys have fun at the golf outing? Did you go golfing?
Well, for the first time ever, we were rained on during the golf event. And we weren't just rained on, like the skies opened up.
Yeah.
So actually we only got in about 9 holes of golf this year. Okay. But I think anybody who was there would tell you they still had a great time. We're there for a great cause. It's not about the golf. It's about raising money for City of Hope, the fellowship that goes on. One of our members of our committee, Janet Homewood, she will tell you that we've had suppliers over the year who aren't even our suppliers anymore, who will still contribute to this event because they believe in it so much, and
they see the good that it does.
Yes,
I see. So so it poured out rain. Now you said it was. I'm so sorry. I should have written it down when you said it. Was it last Saturday?
Thursday.
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
Last Thursday. So I for the life of me, I can't remember Oh no, it was raining last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a whole lot of fun. That seems like it was probably a whole lot of fun. And was there a banquet too to go along with it?
Yes, we have 2 nights of banquets. Actually, the day before the golf outing, we have what we call a chairman's roundtable, where the suppliers who donate at the highest level come in and get to meet with our top leadership, and then we have a dinner that night, and then we have the golf outing, and then a dinner following the next day.
Okay.
So it's really 2 days. We were excited. We put our top donors, we put them up at the Merrill, and they had a great experience there.
Excellent. And the Merrill, that's such a nice. Tim and I went and had a tour from one of the folks over there not too long ago when it was first getting open. They took us through and walked us through the whole building, showed us the 6th story and the balcony. It's an incredible building.
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, City of Hope seems like a great cause, and we're really excited to see H&I, Han, and Allsteel getting involved in it and doing their part to help fund this group like City of Hope. So really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming in to share with us about this. We're really excited. We'll do our part to hopefully push this as much as we can too, and hopefully spread the word. I mean, obviously you guys are doing something right at $650,000, but we'd love to help spread the word about stuff like this too, and make sure that everybody knows that this is getting done. So thank you so much for joining us. Once again, joining me here in the studio this morning, Angie Timmerman from Han and Maxon. She's an executive assistant there, and Natalie Maxwell-McDonald, a project specialist at Allsteel. Thank you for joining us this morning, ladies.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for joining us and talking about City of Hope happening here in Muscatine. As always, you can check out the Moving Forward segments on YouTube and on our Facebook page at both at The Voice of Muscatine. So thank you everyone for joining us. This has been Moving Forward on AM 860 and FM 95.1 KWPC. One more time, thanks to our sponsor at Muscatine Power and Water. MachLink is always Muscatine's fastest internet, and gigabit speed is coming. MachLink TV beats satellite and includes video and music streaming. New subscribers save big, even more when you bundle here on The Voice of Muscatine. Thank you very much. This has been The Voice Moving Forward on thevoiceofmuscatine.com.
We'd like to thank MPW Digital TV and MachLink Internet, the local providers, for sponsoring Moving Forward on KWPC AM 860, FM 95.1, the voice of Muscatine. If you have a suggestion for a guest, we'd like to hear from you. Call our business line at 263-2442 or click mail at voiceofmuscatine.com. It's Moving Forward, weekdays at 8:15.